supposed to be a normal Sunday morning to when she went to go grab her morning paper on her front step, only to be shocked to look up and see a clown with the most unsettling smile on its face having blood dripping down its forehead with a gun pointed directly at her. What sounds like a horror movie is actually the unfortunate real story of Sheila Warren in The Killer Clown. In May 26 of 1990 in Wellington, Florida, Marlene Warren was having breakfast with a friend and her son when she heard the doorbell ring. The horrific thing that was standing outside her door was not a person, it was actually someone dressed in a clown costume, the full-blown thing with blood dripping down its face. It was not only standing there, it was aiming a pew-pew directly at Marlene and then eventually pulled the trigger and pew-pewed her in the face. After the gunshots were heard, it was heard that the clown just ran off into the distance with a very hysterical and unsettling laugh. Marlene was rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately 2 days later was announced unalived. Police immediately began investigating. Witness actually described that the clown's car was left at a public supermarket not even 10 miles away from the scene. Costume was also tracked down by a receipt that was left by the clown while running away to a local party city a few miles down. The costume was so distinct that the clerk actually remembered who the person they sold it to. This is when the investigation takes a turn for the worst. With this man, Marlene's husband, Michael Warren, it's when it came out that Michael, while married to Marlene, was having an affair with this woman, Sheila Keene, a younger woman at the time who worked for Michael at his car dealership, yet it wasn't confirmed that Sheila had anything to do with it, but she was known by her friends and family to be absolutely psychotic. Yet there were rumors around the town that Sheila supposedly wanted Marlene out of the picture so she could have Michael all to herself and she wouldn't let anything stop her. Even though the police had suspicions from community and talk that Sheila might have had something to do with this, DNA testing was actually not strong enough in the 1990s to prove anything. Years go by and nothing's proven. No one's able to figure out who the killer clown was until the early 2000s when Sheila and Michael conveniently actually got married and moved to Tennessee. They ended up starting a restaurant together and starting a whole new life in a neighborhood in Tennessee with friends and family thinking they're just a normal hardworking couple. Little do those people know that Sheila and Michael share a very dark and horrific past. Fast forward to 2014 when actually investigators are digging back into Marlene's case and now have advanced enough DNA processing to open the case back up. And who would have thought the only person that the DNA matched up to was Sheila Warren. After the DNA was connected, not even 27 years after the killer clown attack happened, Sheila Warren was arrested in her house in Virginia. This court case took forever because Sheila's legal team did such a good job, and actually after many years of delays and debates on whether Sheila should get life in prison or the pew-pew penalty, it finally came to a conclusion. Sheila pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and actually was only sentenced to 12 years in prison. Never believe this part, Sheila Warren only served 18 months of her entire prison sentence. A lot of this case just does not sit right with me on why she dressed like a clown, and Michael Warren, her former husband, wasn't even looked at in this case.